Man, it is, Marcellus.
Already,
and this isn't like a, oh, my God, the sky is falling type of thing. What this is the Cowboys haven't beat anybody yet.
Yeah.
They've won a game. But they haven't beat anybody yet. And you know what I mean by that, because to beat somebody is to impose your will, to go out there and dominate a football game. It's to go out there and really show that you were decisively and unequivocally the best team on the field. But here's why it is a must-win. Because it's a must-win for the psyche. It's not just a must-win in the stat column. The NFC East is the NFC least, right? The Cowboys can make it to the playoffs 7-9. But you got to win for the psyche. Let me tell you a story. Contrary to what we like to believe as fans or analysts, whatever the case is, the players know the game better than us. And they actually know themselves better than we do. 2013, I'm on practice squad for the Eagles. So I'm a little more reflective than if I were actually a starter playing at the time, because I can be more realistic. We're playing the New Orleans Saints and Drew Brees in the playoffs. The Seahawks had already won, so we know whoever wins this game between the Eagles, us, and the Saints is going to play the Seahawks. I'm on practice squad, Marcellus, and I'm like, it really don't matter if we beat the Saints, because we're not beating the Seahawks. I knew that. Now, we had won 8 games in a row. Nick Foles had thrown 27 touchdowns to only 2 picks. But as a practice squad player, I was a little more reflective because I'm watching the team. I'm watching the film. Now, Seahawks go on to beat the Saints after we lose. Seahawks go on to win the Super Bowl. Seahawks go on to be the best team of the decade as voted 2 months ago, that 2013 Seahawks team. I say that to say players know how good or bad they are or are not. If the Cowboys lose to the 0-4 Giants, Marcellus, they know better than me, better than you, better than all the talking heads in Dallas, that they are not a good football team.
I just learned a few things about my new co-host. One is, I know why you were on the practice squad. You were mental. We can't beat them. We ain't going to beat them.
Best team in the decade.
Oh, yeah, but they lost games in that decade, too. Y'all could have been one of them teams, but you weren't thinking that way.
I was on practice squad, okay? Had nothing to do with me. Don't blame me. Blame them cats out there catching them big checks. Okay, I was catching my pennies.
What happened to mind over matter?
Don't blame me.
Give a damn about the other team. Show me that BCS collegiate all-star mindset. It's about who we beat, not necessarily what the opponent looks like. But I agree with you. And I'm glad you're agreeing with me now, because you laughed at me the first time I brought up the 2 scoreboards. I used to talk about the literal one on the field, and then the psychological one. Usually you get it in reflection post-game from the coaches, like, hey, in this game, we may have taken an L, but we have some things we can build on to get confidence. But there's no confidence to be gained when you lose to the New York Football Giants. Think about it. If you lose to the Cleveland Browns, you can walk in, as we have walked in before as a player. Hey, man, we lost to a team that was above 500. We lost to a winning team. You lose to the Giants, what can you say? Like, you're as bad or not worse than the worst team. So in terms of the win-loss column, this is not a must-win game. But the other scoreboard, how it's going to affect you between the ears, absolutely. Think about the Cowboys right now and their schedule going forward. Before they even step on the field this weekend, they know that in their 12 games, Football Outsiders, deep analytical site, I don't know if you have it on your phone, I'm always into it. They have the Cowboys with the easiest schedule going forward. And people's like, yeah, okay, well, forget the analytics. Give me the simple counting numbers. I'll give it to you. They got 2 games against 3-win teams. Okay, a little daunting. Then they got 2 games against 500 teams. Then they have 6 games against 1-win teams like themselves and 2 games against no-win teams. In those 12 weeks, you're looking at 10 of those 12 games, 500 or less. Those are winnable games, but first you got to win them between your ears. Practice squad, Acho, Cowboys right now, go out there and handle business.
Here's the thing, Marcellus, because I keep it real. I got into this debate last year when I told that same story. Oh, Acho, you the problem. No. I'm a realist. I'm a realist, and I understand that, yeah, you can go out there with, oh, we can beat these guys. We can beat these guys. I did that every year my rookie season. I was on IR. I watched our team for the Cleveland Browns. We can beat these guys. We beat, 4 teams?
Did you do that, though? Did you do this?
They did. I did.
Oh,
I was
you
hurt.
do this?
I was hurt. I didn't do much of anything that year. I didn't do much of anything in my time in the league, but I got here, so it's all good. Here's my point. 2019, Week 12, Cowboys are about to go play the Patriots. I say on another network show, I'm like, hey, Cowboys have to win this game because if they don't, they will realize they're not very good. Well, Acho, the Cowboys had already won 6 games. What do you mean? They're 6-4. They were 6-4 at the time, but they had beat the Giants, who were terrible. They had beat the football team twice. They had beat the Eagles, who were terrible. They had beat the Lions, and they had beat the Dolphins. All terrible. Not the Lions, excuse me. They had beat the Dolphins and some other trash team.
Way to dig into those notes.
Some other trash team. No, there was the Lions. Okay, I should never doubt myself. Here's my point.
See?
They lost Marcellus to the Patriots, then they lost to the Bills, then they lost again to the Bears, and they didn't go anywhere because they realized, wait, at least we realized, and they realized they're not that good. The Cowboys are looking right now, Marcellus, even if they beat the Giants, which I'm saying it's a must-win, but even if they beat the Giants, they're still going to look up and be like, dang, we really not that good. Here's my thing. Even if you want to lie to yourself, you can't lie about the other side of the ball.
But is this a lie? Is this a lie that you can do something improbable but not impossible, which is the Cowboys could actually still win it all this year? Let me give you that path. They are a half game back in their division against the same team that they're going to face twice going forward. And that same team only has, one win and a tie. They're winning by a tie. So now if you're going back into history lessons that you keep giving it to me, and you give it to me in a real perspective, that's the way I played too. I kept it real, but I kept it with optimism because I was like, it's improbable, but not impossible.
Okay.
And then I remember watching those New York football Giants against those perfect New England Patriots. We all saw it, and they took an L. But they won in that psychological scoreboard because in their minds, it was like, oh, we could tinker here, fix there, and if we see them again, but why would we see them again? We're a 9-7 ball club. How are we going to find ourselves in the playoffs, in the Super Bowl, playing that same team?
Point.
They did.
That's a good point.
So that doubt, you got to be careful how deeply you plant that seed, especially if you're the Cowboys.
That's a good point, but here's where I would counter to that. You got teams like the Giants. Let's talk the 07 Giants, not necessarily the 11 Giants.
Okay.
You had Strahan. You had OC. Like, you had dudes.
Oh.
You had some dogs. You had Hall of Famers. At least they Hall of Famer.
Yeah,
like, you had dudes. This Cowboys roster, when I look at them from the interior, not necessarily the exterior.
Okay, I was about to say, you know they got talent.
They don't have dudes defensively. But when I think about their defensive backs, they just don't have dudes. They let some walk. Okay, we don't want to get into it with Jamal Adams. Okay, we'll pass on that. We don't want Earl Thomas. Okay, we'll pass on that. They just lack some dudes. Deshaun Lee, out. Leighton Vander Esch, out. Jalen Smith, he can be a dude. We haven't seen it lately. So, yes, Marcellus, you are right. I'm not going to sit up here in front. I tried to guard LaShawn McCoy every single day in practice one-on-one.
How'd that go?
What? I knew I didn't have a chance. But I said, you know what? I can beat him. I can beat him up here.
Okay.
And I can at least, I know his tactics, but I know physically, I ain't got a chance. So you're right to a degree. But my point is very simple. The Cowboys, if you lose to an 0-4 team that has scored 3 touchdowns on the season, bump the lies. Bump the lie. Jerry Jones, you can go on 105.3 to Fan, whatever it is, and you can lie each and every week. But the Cowboys players, they know exactly what time it is.
But I'm going to push back. It's not a lie. As a guy who could have been a product of his environment, I decided to produce for my environment. And you got to take the wins any way you can get them.
Okay.
Even if you don't literally see a win. You look out the window, you look around, you talk to your family, you talk to your friends. Everybody's like, you ain't going to beat Jack? And you're like, I'm going to find me a win. Whether it's just I got a B+ on the midterm, something to build your wins. If you're the Cowboys, this is how you build your wins. Half a game back in the division. We got to see them twice. We can score at will. We laugh at their comeback stories. We laugh at the Cowboys being down, 41-14 in a game, and then you blink, it's 41-38. You know why? Because this team really can score at will. What kills them? What's their Achilles heel? Turnovers. You can't be 32nd in giveaways and 31st in takeaways. That puts you at basically a -2 differential in turnovers. You know what that means, Acho? Since 2011, teams that are -2 have won 12% of the games. That's what they're on pace to doing right now. What are the quickest fixes in football? Effort and protect the football. And if you can score at will like this, that defense gives effort. Now you got complimentary football.
The question, Marcellus, is the Cowboys, I think, are starting to deceive some of us, you included. I'm not convinced they can score at will. Dak Prescott, he does have, he's on pace for 6,000 yards. But 45% of them have come with the team trailing by double digits.
Yeah, that's real.
Like, let me give y'all football talk real quick. If we're ahead by double digits, Coach is calling straight loose zone coverages. Straight. Like, all it is, hey, exactly. We're not going to blow the lead.
Prevent.
2 high safeties, cover 3, loose cover 3, cover 2. I'm going to concede all the yards ahead of me. Yes, they're going to get yards. They're probably going to score points. It's going to take them a long time to do so. Early on in the games, the Cowboys aren't actually scoring at will. Early on.
Okay.
Early on, right? Like first half and whatnot.
I'll push it
the
back.
Cowboys aren't actually scoring at will.
Push it back.
So I have to challenge that, the Cowboys can do whatever they want to do. Yeah, they can when the defense is to a degree allowing it.
Oh, here we go. You say they don't score early and at will. You remember last weekend's ball game against the Cleveland Browns? Cleveland couldn't stop Dallas. Dallas couldn't stop themselves. Let's go to 11:23 left on the clock. This is the second quarter. This is what happened to the Dallas Cowboys. They look unstoppable on offense. They got the ball. Dak Prescott is about to throw probably a touchdown to CeeDee Lamb. But we didn't get to see that. You know why? Myles Garrett with his $100 million helmet swinging butt came through, on an undrafted rookie. He was like, pork chops, okay. And we didn't see that play manifest. What happened the next time Dallas got the ball?
Zeke.
First play, they gave it to Zeke. Zeke go, feed me. Oh, I'll drop the spoon. Now you look up, it's 31-14, basically.
Yeah.
That's how close the Cowboys are. I am with you. I'm
let me ask you.
But I'm not doubting.
But let me ask you, because I would hate Marcellus when our coach would come in and be like, man, team, we gave up 295 yards rushing. But if not for those 4 80-yard touchdown runs, we only let up 1.5 yards a carry. I hated when coaches did that.
Me too.
Because those plays were a part of the game. I don't know, Marcel, if you're allowed to come up here and tell me, man, Dak probably would have hit CD for a touchdown, but it was a sack fumble. Man, if Zeke didn't fumble on that first play, it might have been a 14-play, 80-yard touchdown drive because it was a part of the game.
Yeah, but that's why you're a better analyst than coach, because when you're a coach and you are a team one win, you got to fake it till you make it.